Hello, hello!
Hi!
Welcome to Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. It is Sunday, July 18th, 2021, and look who's here! Usually we film apart on Zoom because Mom lives 2 states away. So if this is your first time watching, we should do some introductions. I'm Julie Davison. I live in Champaign, Illinois.
I'm Susan LaCroix, and I live in Wyandotte, Michigan. Julie and I have been demonstrators for 19 years. So I signed up under her. And so we were on the incentive trip together in Hawaii. And Julie came up with this brilliant idea of doing a series of videos together. And so Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie was born.
And that was, well, this is our 7th episode.
This is our 7th episode. We're having a ball doing these, and it's so much fun that we're together.
Yes!
This doesn't happen all that often. So
it doesn't.
No.
This is really a treat.
It is really a treat. Yep. We've done a few things, and she's been to my place to visit, team meetings, and we did something on St. Patrick's Day or something, but Mother's Day?
We did a Mother's Day.
Yeah, we did a Mother's Day one.
Special.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't watched this before, you're going to have to go back and catch up.
Yeah.
Because we've done some really cute things, and we have some more cute things for you today. But I do want to mention one thing. 2 days ago was Julie's birthday. And so one of the things that she wanted was a week of birthday cakes. Yep. Every day, a different cake.
Well, so to be fair, we have a lot of people in the house. So it is really not a problem for us to eat an entire cake in one day. So having a cake a day, it's not like we have leftovers just sitting around. Although we do have one last piece. One last piece. This was yesterday's cake. This is a pig licking cake. And this is a family favorite. Mom, tell us about this recipe, because it's from your grandmother, right?
I think so. I think it was from my maternal grandmother, although it's been around. And if you look for pig licking cake on the internet, you'll find pig picking cake, and there's probably a few more names out there as well. It's a really easy cake to make. We started with a yellow cake mix and put in 4 eggs, a small can of mandarin oranges.
So that was actually in the cake?
In the cake. And a stick of butter, softened. And you just mix it all up. My mother and my grandmother always did it in 3 round cake pans. We just did it in 2. Some people do it in a 9x13, so it's really your preference. And so you bake that, and then once they're cooled, the frosting or the icing is a large container of Cool Whip with a 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple, juice and all. Same thing with the mandarin oranges, juice and all, and a small box of vanilla instant pudding. That's it.
So good.
And you just whip it all up, and you frost the cake, and it's done. I mean, it's a very simple recipe.
But yummy. So yummy.
Yeah. Yeah. As she said, it was a family favorite. And there's a few family stories that kind of go along with it, but it's a favorite of ours. So anyway, happy birthday, babe.
Thank you. I'm enjoying my birthday cake, and I'm so enjoying having Mom and Dad here. There's Dad in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Dad, wave. Dad, wave.
He may or may not wave.
There he is. He is listening through his hearing aid, so he can't hear us.
Right. Okay, you can stop waving.
Okay, so one thing that we're looking forward to playing with while Mom is here is the new mini catalog.
Yay!
And we're not showing it today, but I just wanted to bring it up because I've been getting lots of questions, and Mom has too, from people about where's my catalog? When does it start? So this catalog and celebration don't actually start until August 3rd. So if you've been seeing some sneak peeks, it's demonstrators who could pre-order right now. And if you're not a demonstrator yet, you could join and get your stuff right now.
Yeah.
But if you're not a demonstrator, ordering does not start until August 3rd. If you're a customer of mine, I use the mailing selector through Stampin' Up, so you should be getting your catalog in the mail like any day between now and August 3rd. Did you use mailing selector too?
Not this time. I had some rough experiences, probably related to COVID, but I did the mailing selector and then I ended up having to send out more. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to send them. So I do have catalogs in the mail. I know a couple of you have gotten them because you've let me know you've gotten them. And I've just been giving them out with my Hostess Club orders and customer orders and have told my customers, come by and pick up catalogs if you want. So I've been getting them coming in. As a matter of fact, I have to order some more because I think I've given all mine out.
Well, I feel like a slacker, but I knew we were going to be gone at the beginning of July. So I used a mailing selector because I wanted to make sure that they went out right away and you weren't waiting for me to get home and get everything in envelopes and stuff. So I used mailing selector for half the catalogs for the annual catalog, and some people got their catalog before the catalogs that I sent out. And so I just did them all through mailing selector. So they're coming, I promise. They're coming very soon. Let us know when you get your catalog. But those aren't going to start yet until August 3rd. So we have a couple more weeks. We promise we'll show you some sneak peeks. Not today, but we promise we'll show you some sneak peeks. We're excited to, we still have to play and make things with it. That's what we're doing this week. And well, let's jump into our stuff. But really quick before I do that, if you're not already, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channels. We have Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie every week, every Sunday at
12 Central Time.
12 noon, 1 Eastern Time, and then all the other time zones too. So we premiere the video live, so make sure you watch along with us. And we're gonna go ahead and switch the camera around so you can see the desk and all the fun things that we have to share with you today. Today, we are featuring the You're a Peach suite. This is on page 60 and 61 in the Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. And so let me show you really quick what comes in this suite, and then we're each going to share a project that we have created. So, of course, you have the bundle, the Sweet as a Peach bundle. This is a photopolymer stamp set, and it has coordinating dies which cut out the images, plus there are some extra detailed images that are super fun. My favorite part of this suite, though, is this awesome designer paper. This paper is called You're a Peach. It's a 12 by 12 designer paper. I've cut it down just so I can show you a little bit better all the different patterns. So we've got really fun flowers and peaches, really colorful and bright. Colors here are Calypso Coral, Pale Papaya, Balmy Blue, Old Olive, Pear Pizzazz, and then of course we've got back sides with all those colors as well. Look how cute those little peaches are. Oh my gosh, I just love this. The last thing in this suite, so we've got the bundle, the paper, and then the last thing is the mini jam jars. This comes in a package of 6. They kind of remind me of like little baby food jars. These are plastic. They are food safe, so you can use them if you want to make jam and put them in there and package them up really cute. Or you can use them for packaged treats like Hershey Kisses, when I filled this jar with. I actually copied this sample right out of the catalog. You know how much I love casing the catalog. So this one came right out of there. I used a little of the designer paper and then the stamps and the dies. I have a few more projects to share with you using the You're a Peach suite. But before I show you those, I just want to let you know that the dies, right? The dies and the jam jars are currently on back order and not orderable. However, it looks like they're going to be in stock tomorrow or sometime next week. So if you're wanting to order them and you haven't been able to, you keep checking back and you should be able to order them really soon. Okay, so here are some of the samples. This is a double-sider card that I shared in a recent video. It is so much fun. I used the designer paper back here, a 4x6 piece. Here's a card from Julia Mazer. I love how she just kept it really simple with the flowers and then the peaches in the center. And these sequins are just so amazing. Just the perfect finishing touch on that card. This one is by Angie Leach, and she focused more on the flowers in this suite. And I have to say, like, I'm so focused on the peaches that I forget there are flowers too. So the flower stamps, there is a detailed branch die cut, which is what Angie used. And then you can also use the leaves here as well. This card is by Susan Campfield, and she used the peaches that go with those leaves and then a little bit of the designer paper. Here's one by Natalie Travis, and she focused on the designer paper, which is so beautiful. Like, you really can just add a greeting and have a beautiful card. This one is by Rachel Chamberlain. I just love this combination of Pale Papaya and Balmy Blue. Like, I don't think I would put those colors together on my own, would you?
No, probably not.
I love getting my color combinations from the designer paper. And if you love designer paper as much as I do, make sure you stock up on all your annual catalog favorites that are on sale from July 1st through August 2nd. You can save 15% on these 9 packs from the annual catalog. So we showed Bloom Where You're Planted last week. If you did not see that video, make sure to check out the replay. And we also did a video on the pansy petals. And showed a lot of projects with that paper and that suite. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. But today we're focused on peaches. So I'm going to move out of the way and let Mom share her project.
All right, thanks, Julie. This is so different for us because we are we're together. So we're trying to get our act together a little bit too. So Julie mentioned, you know, there's flowers and there's peaches. And so I'm going to focus on the flowers because I haven't yet. So I'm going to use a piece of the basic white thick cardstock is our card base. I brought out a paper lattice. These have also been in short supply and back soon. A piece of the balmy blue cardstock, some of the designer series paper. And so I chose this piece. This will go on there as well. This piece is to do some stamping on, as well as this. I'm going to, I think. Okay. All right. So I'm going to move some of this stuff, excuse me, out of the way for a moment. And I think what I'm going to do is start with the paper lattice. And I did something a little bit different for that I want to share with you. I brought out a piece of scrap paper, Julie's, to set on, and I'm going to use direct to paper inking with Versamark.
But you believe I still have not used these paper lattices? You showed them, was it last week we did Bloom Where You're Planted?
Yeah.
And I still haven't used them. It's so silly.
So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to emboss it with white embossing powder. And I don't care if some of the brown shows through. It kind of gives it a little character and dimension. So we've got one of our little dollar store coffee filters. Thank you. And I'm going to just pour it on. And I'll clean it up later. So I'm just going to get it all over it as much as I possibly can. And you can even smush it in there if you want.
But I love how you said when you were making this card earlier, like, if it doesn't get all of the parts, that's okay. Like, it doesn't have to be completely coated in the embossing powder because it just lends to the look.
It does. And so we have the heat gun here.
I do, yeah. Can you reach it?
I'm going to try. Here we go. Woo! This is just so pretty. I just wanted to do something a little bit different, so I apologize for the noise. And I do have one that I will be using that's already done, but I just wanted to show you, if you've never heat embossed before, it's like magic. You put the powder on and you melt it with the heat gun, and you just kind of go over it.
Just until it's melted. Don't start any fires.
Yes. If you do it too long, you might lose the shine on the embossing powder. So you don't want to do that. You just want it till it's melted. So, okay, I'm done there. And so you can see, probably this is a little warm. I'm going to move this out of the way. Thanks, Jay. So this is what it looks like. So let me put it on something a little darker so you can kind of see the effect. So as you can see, I don't have it all in white, and I'm fine with that. Okay, so let me see. Let's put this aside for a minute and do a little bit of stamping. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out the flowers and the leaves and this, and put this aside. All right. And I'm going to open, oh, thanks, Jay. It's nice having a Sue chef, a Sue stamper. Yeah. Okay. I'm using Bumblebee Calypso Coral for my flowers. And I've already done quite a few, so I'm just going to kind of show you this technique. And I think Julie's probably going to show it to you as well, but it bears repeating.
It's just such a good technique with this.
It really is. So I'm going to put some ink on my little flowers and set it down. And then I'm going to take a dauber and some Calypso Coral. And I'm just going to dauber on some of the flowers. And then I'm going to stamp it on some basic white cardstock. Look at that. Isn't that pretty?
Oh my gosh, I just love how you still get like a little bit of the yellow in there.
Yeah, yeah. So just some, you know, some variation. All right, so I'm going to close these for now. And then I would use the dies and I would die cut them. But before I do that, I'm going to take a piece of the designer series paper. I'm going to set that aside. And some pear pizzazz. And I'm going to do some leaves. And then die cut them. And when I was working on this card, you know, I just wanted something a little bit different because as you can tell with the paper lattice, I'm going for kind of a trellis effect. So I stamped like 3 of these. I probably won't get a third one on there, but that's okay. And then I die cut these out too. So let me show you what those look like. Let me close up my stamp pad because
I love stamping on the paper, and then you don't get that that white border around
right, right.
Really pretty.
So here are the leaves. Isn't that pretty? It's just so different, and it's just the designer series paper. And then I did a whole bunch of flowers, and some I did just in straight like bumblebee and calypso, and but the majority I did with the technique that I just showed you. So now I have my flowers, and they're all die cut, and my leaves are all die cut, and I'm ready to do some assembly. So like I said, I'm going to take my basic white cardstock, and I should have brought a bone folder, so I'll use pair snips because, you know, you can. Whoops, well, maybe I can, huh? No?
You want a bone folder?
No, I'm just going to do this. Close enough. Okay. Then to put this on, I just took some liquid glue, and you don't need a lot, but if you'll notice, like there's an open circle and closed circle. So like every other circle, well, there, is closed. And that's where I'm going to put a little drop of liquid glue. And like I said, you don't need a lot. So let me get this started. Whoop. Now see, I say that and then I drop a little bit too much because you don't want it smooshing out all over the place. And if I was smart, I would have brought a silicone mat out with me, but I didn't. But this will work just fine. You'll get the idea. So just a little dab will do ya, as they say. We used to say with Brill Cream. Boy, does that date me.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'm gonna put this on my balmy blue piece.
I love that it's just a little dots of glue because I felt a little intimidated, like trying to figure out how I was gonna glue this thing down, but that looks really easy.
It is. Look at that, done.
I love that look.
And now I'm going to take some of our seal and I'm going to put some seal on here. This will not come off in a tornado, let me tell you. Okay, and I'm going to put this on here. And I should have put those flowers somewhere else, but that's okay. All right. So I'm going to also use liquid glue on my green flower, or my green stems. And I kind of want this coming off a little bit, like when you have a trellis, you've got some that come off. It's probably a little bit too off.
No, I think it looks good.
All right, well, it's going to stay now.
Yeah.
Because I'll probably tear it.
The bottom corner, like the stem, is still like within the trellis. It looks like it's actually coming right from the bottom.
All right, so we're going to do another one on the other side, and I'm going to try to angle this maybe up a little bit, maybe off the side. Let's see if that sticks on there. Oh, I got glue all over my hands now. My goodness, why aren't you sticking? Of course, you know, when you're off camera and doing this, it's perfect, and it goes on just where you want it.
That's because you don't feel rushed when you're not on camera, right? Like
this is true.
You just kind of hold it down and let it dry a little bit, and then move on.
Yeah. And so this guy is going to come up here, and I'm leaving kind of a gap there for my greeting. All right, stay. Stay. All right, so at this point, I would start putting some flowers. Oh boy, this is this way. I don't like when they're this way. Oh Lord. I like putting my flowers like this on the roll because I can decide where they go and not worry about it. So, you know, and I'm not kind of fumbling around because I've got some smaller ones and some bigger ones.
Okay, so the colors you use, because I see they're different colors. You did some straight up bumblebee.
Straight up bumblebee.
Straight up calypso.
Straight up calypso.
And then the other one is
the other ones are all the daubered ones, the variegated color. I guess we can call it that.
It's so pretty, having all the different colors on there.
Yeah, I wanted to do that, just to add a little color interest. That's going to wind up all over the place. I probably have enough, so I'm going to stop. I can always add a few more flowers if I need to, but here they are.
So like the perk of the glue dots being this way is now you can tear.
This is true.
And then this is going to go right back on the roll.
Yeah, and I suppose that's why they did it. It's just, maybe it's just something that I'm not used to.
I hope it's a mistake and not a permanent change.
Yeah. So now I'm just going to kind of look. There's some natural places where the flowers might be. So I'm trying to kind of hone in on that, but you can also just add them wherever. And I kind of want the flowers kind of grouped down here and then like slowly climbing up that way. That's my intent anyway. Whether it looks that way when I'm done, we'll see. But that's my thought process anyway. And let's stick one here, and I'm going to come up here now and just kind of keep going. I'll put one here. I'll put one maybe down here, huh? It's kind of fun, actually. It's almost like doing a little puzzle.
This card is so pretty. I was just thinking that, like, there are probably so many other flower and leaf sets that would work with this. Like, I'm sure everybody at home already has a stamp set they can use to make a trellis card like this.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure. I know I have more flowers. I love flowers.
And I never, like, seeing this card come together, like, I never would have thought that this was the peach suite.
Right?
I love that that's in there as well, that you can do so many different looks with this bundle.
Yeah, this is true.
First I'm talking out of the bundle, now I'm talking back into the bundle. See how it works?
Good job, Jay. Good job. Okay, so I think I have enough flowers, but if I wanted more, I have more. I'm going to add my greeting, which I already pre-stamped and put the little banner cuts into it and put some dimensionals on there. So we're going to go ahead and put this guy on.
Okay, what did you just do with your fingernail? Because that was awesome.
Okay, so this is I call it my $250 tip from Denver, Colorado, when we went to convention. And it was really, really hot. And so the supplies were driven up in a truck from Utah, because it's pretty close, and they were somewhat difficult to work with, and so somebody who was ever presenting was struggling to get the backings off the dimensionals because they had like melted on. So she took her fingernail, put it in the center of the, oops, that one's already off, and then it just comes right off. So if you have trouble getting your dimensionals off, just try that little trick.
That is such an awesome trick. So you call it a $250 trick because that's how much it costs you to go to convention?
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so then I thought, well, let's put something else on here. And so we're going to put a little...
You're stealing my bow.
I am.
That's okay.
I am so sorry.
I did a bow. There's on camera. Okay, so I did a bow and I ended up not using it, and I just stuck it right up on the camera stand, and so it's just right in front of Mom's face. So she saw it and she thought that was her bow, but hers didn't have a glue dot yet.
No, it didn't. So here we go. All right. And so the other thing I did, I'll just show you what I did.
That's so pretty.
Oh, but I'm not done yet.
But wait, wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. We're not known for the we're known for the sparklers for a reason, and that's because I like to put sparkle on things. So I just grabbed some little rhinestones from our basic jewels, and I'm just putting a few on some of these fleurs. Well, sure I am. I didn't bring the pickup tool, doggone it. I should have. Well, let me just try. I'm sliding rhinestones everywhere. Why? On camera. Because earlier when I was putting these on the card, it was fine. So normally I would just do like 3, but because there's so many flowers, I'm going to add a couple extras. And you always want to go in odd number increments. And the reason for that is that your brain divides things. If you have an even number, like if I had 4 rhinestones, your brain would automatically want to divide this card into even compartment things. But because I'm adding a 5th one, it kind of tricks the brain into just having this pleasing look. So there is the finished card. Now what I did on my, and I won't take the time to do it now, but on the inside to finish it off, I put a strip of that same designer series paper and stamped "Let's Celebrate You." So we have "Happy Birthday, Let's Celebrate You." So that is my card.
I love that little strip of designer paper on the inside. Like,
Yeah.
It's such an easy way to dress it up and tie everything.
Yes, and you do have to dress everything up. So I'm going to try to get all my stuff out of here so that Julie can set her stuff up and show you her awesome project, because it really is. So I'm going to get all my little flowers out of the way.
Usually we just switch the camera. That's a
We
perk
do.
of filming on Zoom. But
Yes.
I will take filming at the same table with you over Zoom any
yes.
day of the week.
You got that right, sister.
Okay. Well, I am going to use the peaches on my card. So let me show you that stamp set again, because it is kind of fun and really versatile. There's some really great sentiments in here, including some punny sentiments. Have a peachy day. You're sweet as a peach. Thanks for being a peach. And then we've got the big peach, the small peaches, which fit on the branches, and then the flowers, which also fit on the branches. So I'm going to use the peaches since Mom used the flowers on her card. And I definitely wanted to incorporate some of the designer paper like Mom did, because it's on sale right now. If you don't have this designer paper yet, it's gorgeous and you need it. This is a tuck flap card. And so I'm going to start by showing you all the measurements, and I will include them in the video description as well. But I just wanted to show you them because they're a little bit different than just a regular card. So my card base is 5.5 inches by 6.5 inches. And then I scored it at 4 1/4. So that is going to fold like this, and that's going to be at the front of my card. So that's 5.5 by 6.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then the other piece for the card base is 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches, and I scored that one at 3/4 of an inch. So this is going to fold back, and this is going to go on this side of the card like that. So this is going to fold under. And then we have the inside piece, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4. That's going to go inside the card. I'm just going to glue it down. Usually I would stamp first, but I'm feeling daring today. Watch, I'm going to totally screw it up. I need to grab another piece. Oh my goodness. All right, the designer paper for the front flap is 2 inches by 5 1/4. And that is going to go right here on this front flap. You know what? I just realized I wasn't supposed to do the white yet. I'll show you now and I'll tear it back up. Oh my goodness. All right, the second designer paper piece is 2 inches by 5 1/4 inch. And that is going to get, oh no, I wrote the same measurements. Oh, Julie. Boop, boop, boop. Well, I just wrote they're not the same size. Okay. This one is 2 and 5 1/4. And instead of writing the one for this one, I wrote that for a second time. So this one is, well, hold on. I can figure it out. This was 3.5. Oh, here we go. There's a ruler on this grid paper. Okay. Careful. So this one is 2.5 inches by 3.5. 2.5 by 3.5 I'll put it in the video description as well. 2.5 by 3.5. And that is going to go right here. So inside the little flap. And this is what I was supposed to do before I put the white down. You want to attach this flap behind the white. So you should do that before you glue the white one down. That would be the smart thing to do. So this is, I need to put adhesive on both sides. I think I used tear and tape the first time. Okay. You'll figure it out when you make it. I'm making it look a lot harder than it is. But this part needs to go around the white before you put the white down. So don't put the white down first like I did. Put that on first. And then I'm just putting it like right in the center. And then the white can go down over it. So put the flap on the white and then the white on the card. And you'll end up just like this. You'll be all caught up with where I am. Okay, the last layer on this card is a stitched scallop rectangle. This came from the Stitched So Sweetly die set. I love this one. It has a bunch of different labels, including some stitched scallop rectangles. So this is gonna be on the front of the card. And this one, I'm only going to, I can go ahead and glue it down because I'm not doing actual stamping on this piece. I'm gonna use tear and tape because I want this part to really stay put. It's going to hold the flap down, and so it's only going to be adhered right here. So I'm using the tear and tape right there toward the very edge, and then this is going to go over kind of right in the center over that, so this tucks behind the label and gets held into place. So that is the tuck flap card. So now to do our stamping, for the front, I stamped a big peach and the leaves, and I die cut those. I also stamped and die cut the sentiment To a Sweet Friend, which is from this set as well. And so I'm gonna put these on with Stampin' Dimensionals. And, oh good, Mom's got the baby dimensionals. I forgot to bring them. This little banner is so small that you're gonna want to have, in fact, you probably just want one Stampin' Dimensional because it's going to go over the peach on the one end. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of snail. Okay, so peach is going on with Stampin' Dimensionals. Right here on this side, I'm adding the leaves with a Stampin' Dimensional. And I love that, like, this could go either way. I'm choosing to have the leaves go into the card since we have the busy designer paper over here. And then my banner is gonna go across the bottom. I need that little trick, but this one's so small. All right, To a Sweet Friend. There we go. And then just to finish off the front, I'm going to add some of the Genial Gems. This goes with the, I think the hand penned suite, is that right? Yes. But I think the colors really work well for the You're a Peach suite too. So I'm gonna just do a big one and a small one. I know Mom just talked about odds, but I find that sometimes the stamped image like this, which is also a circle, is the third one. So we've got the 1, 2, the 3. I think it brings the eye in. Do you think? Or yeah, that would do you work. Think I need to add another one?
Well, I would add another one, but
where would you put it?
I would put it probably in this corner.
Because I feel like sometimes then that gets crowded, like that.
Peach. Yeah, that works too.
I don't know. I want to be a rebel. I'm doing 2.
Okay.
Leave a comment and let us know. Do you agree with Mom or do you agree with me? Would you leave it at 2 or would you put a third one on there? I'm all about the rule of thirds, but sometimes I struggle and I feel like just 2 is a good number there. All right, I'm gonna do the leaves on the inside here. Now you just wanna be aware, I'm gonna flip it around so the stem is at the top. You want to be aware that you can see the corners here of the card. Now, when this is closed, it's even less of the corner, but you don't want your stamped image on the inside to be like coming out and showing in the front. Or maybe you do, that's a whole nother look, but I don't. So I'm keeping it on this side so that that flap covers it up. Now I'm going to do a similar technique that Mom did with the peaches because I just love the way this looks on the peaches and on the flowers. I'm using pale papaya for the base layer, and then I'm going to use Calypso Coral, which is the same color Mom used. So she used Bumblebee and Calypso Coral. I'm using pale papaya and Calypso Coral, and truly there are so many different combinations that you can use, like to make beautiful flowers and peaches. So,
but when you think of the different colors of peaches, I mean, if you go to the store and just look at the big bin of peaches, there's reds and yellows and oranges. I mean, there's all kinds of colors in there. Beautiful.
Oh my gosh, I just love the way that looks. It's so easy, and this stamp is not, you can see it on the artwork on the stamp set maybe a little bit better. It's not like a solid image. You already have some like dots and some shading on there. So the color that we add to it is just highlighting those dots and shading and sort of making it like peach fuzz, right? Because peaches are not, I have to admit, I don't like peaches. Like sometimes I'll eat like canned peach or something like that, but I don't really care for like the flavor peach. Like I'm definitely not like a peach pie, peach like not my first pick. No peach cakes going on this week. One last touch inside. Have a peachy day in Calypso Coral ink. So gotta have the stamped inside for sure, and then that tuck right underneath the label for the finished card. Oh my gosh, I just love it.
Oh, so
much.
So
yes,
pretty.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna turn around the camera so you can see us, and we'll show off our cards one more time. Okay, so here's our finished cards. It's remarkable like how similar they are. Yeah. We chose the same colors. Well, of course we chose it from the designer paper. And don't forget, if you want to get this paper on sale, that sale ends August 2nd. So before the mini catalog starts, you definitely want to make sure you stock up on your favorite papers from the annual catalog that are on sale. It's so hard to do this backwards. Oh my goodness, what else do we want to say?
You can finish your cake now.
Oh, yes. Make sure to tune in next week on Sunday, whatever the Sunday is. July.
It'll be 25th.
25th, yes.
Yeah.
Oh. I always think of that as like Christmas in July.
I know.
So maybe we should share, I don't know, do you want to see some sneak peek projects from the new mini catalog next week?
Ooh, fun stuff.
Leave a comment and let us know what you would like to see, and we will see you next Sunday. Okay. Have a good week.
Bye.